Today I want to show y'all maybe the best position change in all of Dynasty College Football 26. When y'all see this, y'all might be surprised, man. I think it's going to be very, very useful to everyone. I'm going to show you how to do it right now with your current Dynasty and also how to recruit a guy to pretty much develop him to be a crazy defensive lineman in this game. If y'all do enjoy this content, like, comment, subscribe, check out the ebook membership. First link down below. Going crazy on that. Appreciate y'all boys, man. Let's hop into the video. First, I want to shout out Jacob, who commented on one of my videos and pretty much gave me the motivation or really the idea to do this. So we're going to start at position change week. And what we're doing here, we're taking a linebacker and we're making them a defensive lineman. So it's best if you could recruit a guy, bring him in, and with that mindset, you know he's going to be a defensive lineman, but you start him at linebacker. So you could do this with a thumper. You could do this with a signal caller linebacker as well. You could do it with pretty much any linebacker in this game. So let's start with Terrence, who is the elite development senior linebacker. And I'm going to show y'all later how pretty much the best archetype to do this with. But he has 135 skill points to use. And one thing you want to do is upgrade the pass rush. Then we're just going to move him over to the defensive line position. And you see here, he's not a great pass rusher whatsoever, but is relatively cheap to upgrade. It costs 2 to upgrade it. We could go ahead and just max this out. And maxing this out, and when it's on the cheaper side. When we get to the thumper, it's even cheaper to upgrade this pass rush ability. But like we could just max it out and get best of both worlds. We're getting to the finesse moves and the power moves all in one. And you know, as y'all know, when y'all upgrade a defensive lineman, it's either one or the other. There's no upgrade in both. This is like the same thing with the hybrid safety and then moving them over the corner. When you upgrade a hybrid safety, you're able to upgrade both of their man and zone coverage all at once. And then you move them over the corner and it's like you already got it in a good spot for cheaper. So we see he's at 93. That's elite. That's absolutely elite. And we could also upgrade the block shedding if we want, man. Go ahead and upgrade that as well. And the good thing here is not associated with the power. Oftentimes the block shedding is associated with the power, and the power is always more expensive to upgrade. So we go ahead and get this to a solid level 85. And let's get the awareness up a little bit, man. His awareness may drop once we change his positions. That's one thing that happens. Sometimes their awareness does go down. So let's go ahead and upgrade it. It'll also get his overall up there as well. We could go the speed route, whatever. But I want to get that awareness at least to a solid level because I fear it may be a skill cap in awareness that we might run into. So let's go ahead and max this out as much as we can. Now the difference is when you do this with a thumping linebacker, it's a little bit cheaper. So I got right here, he's a thumping linebacker. You see the pass rush is cheaper to upgrade. It's only costs 1 and it's starting off higher than the signal caller. It makes sense. But you go ahead and upgrade this and you go ahead and just max it out. It's gonna be the same idea, max it out and then move them over to the defensive line if you so choose. But I don't even want to focus on this guy. I'm going to recruit a whole guy and show you how to pretty much develop him throughout his career to turn him to an absolute demon. But I just want to show y'all, like with Terrence here, what you could do immediately. Like what you could do with any linebacker on your roster. So what I want to do is just sim 1 week to training results. That's the perfect part about position changes. You know, the next week is training results. So we move this guy to a position. Now we're going to get a whole bunch of XP that we can all spend here at once. So I had to go back on the save file. I forgot to change his position and I advanced. So we went back, we upgraded him. It might be a little bit different, but I just want to show y'all how he looks. He has 88 awareness. I do want to keep that in mind. This time, let's not forget to change his position. So let's go ahead and change him to a left edge where he'll be at 87 overall as a left edge. And then we'll go ahead and advance. And y'all also just seen the way his skill caps looked. So now when we advance and we change his position, we should be able to upgrade him even further. You know, when we had him at that middle linebacker, he was completely maxed out at pretty much his pass rush ability. But now that we moved him to the left edge spot, his skill caps should have moved around. And let's see. So come over here to ratings, and yes, his skill caps have moved around. He become a lot better. I don't know where, like, when it got like this, but I feel as though they said you can't just move guys around from linebacker to D-line. I know at the beginning of the year you couldn't move nobody anywhere, but after the patch, like, stuff like this still shouldn't have been possible the way they worded it, the way I remember it at least. But it seemed like position changes is, the door is wide open once again. Last year the door was wide open. Matter of fact, it wasn't no door last year, and it seemed like we're getting to that point this year. So, like I said, we got training results so we can upgrade them even more. So what do we want? Do we want 99 power moves and finesse moves? Okay, we go get that. Like, literally no problem. We go ahead and get that. 99 on both. Boom. Also with the 86 block shedding, we could upgrade that if we want, or we get the IQ up there and we could get the block shedding up there, and now we just have an insane, guy. Obviously elite development, but he wasn't anything at linebacker, and now we just turned him into an absolute crazy edge rusher. So the real guys you want to do this method with is going to be the athlete middle linebackers, but I do want to clarify, you could do it with any linebacker, but athlete middle linebacker, I truly believe, will be your best bet. So we have one here with this Syracuse team. He has star development trait. He's also 6'3", 234 pounds. With these athlete middle linebackers, you're never going to have to worry about will they be, big enough, strong enough, tall enough, all of that stuff to play edge. They're going to come in, big, strong, fast, all of that stuff. And we have a 3-star. I want to make sure I do this method with a 3-star just to show that any athlete middle linebacker other than 2-star can be very, very good at defensive line, but even better if you do this method. In the last video, I just moved them there instantly, but shout out to Jacob once again for mentioning, hey, keep them at linebacker, develop them at linebacker, then move them to defensive line when you are ready. So key here, he has that 91 acceleration, so if he turns into a speed rusher, he's going to be able to get quick jump instantly, which is a very good ability if you're usering. If you're not usering, the abilities don't matter. If you're not playing the games, or if you're simming, we did a test, abilities don't matter if you're simming for my testing. He also has solid strength, 75 strength is pretty good, so we're just going to go ahead and keep him at the linebacker position, and we're going to go ahead and advance to this next season. He's going to redshirt the entire season, so we don't have to worry about that. We're going to advance to this next off season, and then we're going to go ahead and progress him as a linebacker, and then we're going to move him over to middle or to defensive end, probably by his sophomore, junior year, somewhere in that range. So first year training results, our guy Danny has gained 50 skill points throughout this season. Question for y'all, have y'all noticed since one of these updates, players are getting slightly less skill points? Let me know. I feel like that may be the case. But we're going to go ahead and upgrade our guy when it comes to the finesse and power moves. We're going to go ahead and max that out with the 50 that he has. We're going to use all of it on finesse and just the pass rush. And then I think next I want to go into the IQ, and I might let him marinate for one more year. So we're going to max his out 89. 93, so that I think that's going to tell me he's going to be more of a power rusher once we move him over. So their archetype all depends on how their attributes actually looks. So if he has better, power moves, he might turn into an actual power rusher, and I'll probably prefer him to be a speed rusher. I probably prefer that, but we don't really have say in this situation. I also want to upgrade the block shedding, but it's fine. We're going to go ahead and get that IQ. So he's a 75 overall. When he's upgrading that pass rush, it wasn't really affecting his overall much. So from this point, we're going to let him marinate, man. We're not going to, he's going to start, but we're not going to move him to defensive line. We can't at this point, man. We have to wait until the next year training results, National Signing Day. That's also position change week. At that point, if we want to move him over to the defensive line, we can, or we could let him marinate another year. It's kind of our choice. Let's go ahead and advance to National Signing Day, and we'll make that choice then. So position change week. the following off season. Now we have to make the decision: do we want to move our guy to D-line, or do we want to let him marinate for another year? Let's see what type of defensive lineman he'll turn into. So he'll turn into a speed rusher. I think it's beneficial to just go ahead and move him now. I think that's the play to move him now. He'll go up a bunch of overalls, go up 9 overalls up to an 84 overall, which is pretty good. So we'll move him now, and then we could go ahead and advance. I'm interested to see how bad his skill caps got hit, if they did at all. Let's see here. Not bad. Like I said earlier in the video, I don't know what point in the year where they just completely like unpacked position changes, but they are back, man. Like, you're not receiving these significant skill caps even for moving a linebacker to defensive line. You know, I wonder if you could just move a linebacker to safety and receive not harsh skill caps. I think they really just took it out the game. So let's go ahead and progress Danny now as a defensive lineman. And once again, no skill cap on power moves and finesse moves. We go ahead and get that maxed out. But the reason I was hesitant, I wanted to see what type archetype he'll be, because I wanted to make sure he's a speed rusher, because I believe if he's a power rusher, I believe the increase that block shedding gets a little bit more expensive, and it's a good way to check it. Like, just look at a power rusher and see what archetype, or just see how they upgrade. So the run stop ability is still separate, so we'll be good. So now we could go ahead and progress Danny once again, and he should already be at a threshold to get quick jump. So yes, I believe he get quick jump on silver with that 91. He definitely get it on bronze, but I think he get it up to silver with it starting off at 91, the acceleration. So how do we want to upgrade my guy? We go ahead and get that block shedding up. That block shedding is pretty important. I want to do a full-blown test on what leads to sacks, and I really do think block shedding is a lot more important than maybe it should be when it comes to sacks, man. And when I say then it should be, I think it might be more important than finesse and power moves. Like I said, I'm gonna do a full-blown test on it. But if we want his overall to increase, we're gonna upgrade his finesse moves and get that all the way up to 95. And he is a very, very good player. We also get that block shedding up a little bit more. So he's up to a 91 overall already. I don't even think I need to do much else, but y'all see how good this can be. This is a guy that's only a redshirt sophomore, and he's already, you know, the best player on the whole entire roster by a lot. So another year of training results. Our guy luckily did not leave for the NFL early. He put up 14 sacks in simulation, man. That's what I'm talking about. 14 sacks, 10 tackle for losses. No. 31 tackle for losses. I just want to see what playbook is this Syracuse team rocking out with, man. Watch it be like some type of 3-4 type playbook, man. Just come in here and check, see what they're rocking out with. Yep, 3-3-5. Tight. That's probably the best defensive. Last year, that was my favorite defensive playbook for getting sacks. And I need to do some more testing this year. It might be the best playbook again for getting sacks in back-to-back years. So let's go ahead and upgrade our guy, Danny. And luckily, like I said, he didn't go to the NFL early. What we want to do here, we get the 99 finesse moves if we want. You know, we're not going to upgrade abilities just because we know it's not going to affect simulation. Let's go ahead and try to get him 99 overall. Let's upgrade the awareness, and let's see how high we could get his overall if we get my guy drafted in the first round as a junior. So we'll get him up to a 95 overall. We upgrade this, 96 overall, and that's all we're going to be able to do for now. I say all we'll be able to do. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. Even with an impact development guy, he still be very good. You know, obviously this guy's star development, so he's getting even more points every, off season. Also want to show y'all the coach. We do have motivator for our head coach, and we do have tier 3 for all position groups. And then our coordinator also have tier 3 for all position groups. And then also we have a defensive coordinator with tier 3 for the D-line also. So that's helpful. We do have 3 coaches, and that was just by luck. I didn't go out and seek that. But we do have 3 coaches with tier 3 motivator, so that's giving us a little bit more of a boost. We did a test on motivator. You know, when motivator is stacked like that with multiple coaches, it's very good. But when it's just by itself with one coach, not all that impactful, honestly, but we do have that boost for all our coaches. Just want to make sure I'm aware of that. So let's sim one more year. He's definitely going to go ahead and get drafted. So we're just going to see how he do his senior year with this method. Players leaving, and he's going to go ahead and be a first-round draft pick. He put up 18 sacks in his senior campaign, only playing 12 games. I say only, that's a regular season, but no postseason play. We was a bad team. 66 overall, 4-8, but we had a guy put up 18 sacks on a bad team. That is pretty impressive, man. That is definitely pretty impressive. This method definitely works, man. Like I said, we didn't invest in abilities whatsoever because we know in simulation they don't do anything, you know, and we already dropped the video on that. But that's pretty much all I got for y'all boys, man. If y'all enjoy this content, like, comment, subscribe. If y'all found this video useful, if y'all may keep doing these position change videos, let me know because they can be very, very good, man. But I appreciate y'all, and we on to the next one.